This is my first YouTube video for Animal Crossing. I'm standing at the entry to my island in front of Dodo Airports, and I just entered into the main square, turning left to enter my campsite, which will be the focal point of this video. Here I'm standing in the entryway. This main fire pit is the focal point of the right half of my campsite. I've decorated it with log furniture to give it a woodsy feel, and it's the first spot that I'm demonstrating the scenic element of this portion of my island, which is something that I focus on greatly when I am designing. I really want the user to feel like they've stepped into what could be a postcard or a memory. And here I'm showing the little pieces of that main area that really bring this woodsy, folk, wholesome feel. They really remind me of Harvey. And so the mini library and the retro record player and the little camper really bring that together. Now I'm standing in front of the entry to Argyle Surf Shack, which was inspired by Argyle, the character in Stranger Things Season 4. He really had this whole surfer, zonked out mojo that I love and I enjoy every time I watch that season. Here is the entryway and main part of the surf shack. I really designed it to have a palm feel. Everything is made of a very pale wood so that it works very well together and really makes you feel like you're stepping under a cabana, like you're in Jamaica enjoying the beach, being relaxed, zoning out, watching the water flow. This is where I leave all of my scuba gear, so when I go diving for sea creatures, this is where I go, and this way I'm able to customize my look every time that I go diving, which brings a fun element to it. And all of the surfboards and the banged up radio and the custom wood box to the side of the main area really bring the whole worked down shaggy feel together, which I feel really makes that piece of the island what it is. Here I'm on the bridge leading from the right to the left portion of my campsite. This is another very scenic area. Here I've decorated it with a bunch of mushroom furniture because I feel like that really, one, works with the fall themes that I have currently set up in my campsite. It brings a very unique aspect to it. It makes it fun to take photos of. It really brightens the area, especially at nighttime when all of the mushroom lamps light up. And I love mushrooms to begin with, so it really just is a very fun part of my island. I've also decorated it with kids' tents to make the campsite look like it isn't an isolated area. It's a place where people come together to enjoy the outdoors. And on this deck that I've built and am standing on currently fishing, it's intended to give that idea and feel of when you go camping, you go fishing, you're foraging for your own food, and I'm able to show off that giant cooler that I got from the fishing tournament. And here I'm taking another scenic shot. I've decorated this area specifically with roses that are warm colors because I felt like that really brings together that fall look and it gives another element to this spot other than just the mushrooms to kind of make the area feel even more cohesive and fun and floral and outdoorsy. And I actually have a camper on my campsite today, so we're gonna go inside of their tent and see who it is. So once I've entered the tent here, we'll get the reveal in a moment, and it's Plucky. So I've actually met Plucky. I designed her vacation home through the Happy Homes Paradise DLC that I highly endorse if you don't have it already. It is one of my favorite things. It was probably one of the best $30 that I've ever spent because I have been on it almost every single day for the last year. And currently, all of my villagers that I have on my island are really cool. I have a few staples that you'll meet in later videos and on my Instagram, but I don't necessarily want to invite Plucky to live on my island. I know her aesthetic. Funnily enough, it would go really well with the surf shack, but obviously that's not the overall theme of my island, so I don't know if she would fit very well with the rest of my villagers, and I lost the game that we played anyways, so it just wasn't meant to be, but I really hope that she enjoys her stay on my island. I really feel like it's too bad that the villagers who come to visit at the campsite can't go and explore the rest of the island because I feel like seeing their interactions with my other villagers would be a really fun element of the game. And that way I could see the chemistry that they have with other villagers to see if they would get along well and be a cool addition to my island. Here, I've walked over to the back left corner of my campsite where I've set up this little area for cleaning. It's a shower pavilion slash laundry area. So any villagers who are camping can come and freshen up during their stay. It's still very summery and beachy, and I just haven't transferred anything over because we're still very early in the fall season. However, I will be making changes to this area soon to fit the theme more. But for those who have a year-long summer on their island, I feel like this is a really cute addition because it makes it feel more homey. And here I'm at the intersection of my campsite. I've gone to the right, and here you can see the flower shop that I've set up, and I'll show more of in a later video. And now I am crossing my second campsite bridge to return to the right side of my campsite. Here you can see farther back on that right side, I've put a well in because it made it feel very folky and homey, and it just brings a more real feel to this area. And you can also see that I have planted a bunch of different flowers, so I have a combination of different species and different colors in this area because I feel like it just really sucks you into that transition of going from the rest of the island into the campsite. And I've matched the colors of the flowers to match the fall aesthetic that is currently on my island. And cool enough that that monarch just flew across while I was taking a photo there. That was really neat. I love it when that happens. Butterflies are one of my favorite parts of this game. Unfortunately, I have already completed my insect log, so there are no more butterflies for me to catch, but I hope in future versions of the game that there would be more expansive packs or variations of insects and other things that you can catch, sea creatures, fish. Here I'm taking a picture with my precious mosquito that I captured during summer and placed beside that little cooker in this kitchen area that I've created. Uh, it's a favorite area of mine. I actually changed up the wood table and seat there that you can see, the log seat, to match the fall aesthetic. And here you can see how that back side of the campsite overlooks the museum area of my island, which we will go and explore later on. And so now I've exited my campsite and I'm talking to one of my villagers, Stu. He's been with me from the very beginning and I always enjoy interacting with him. He has a very goofy, lazy personality, and he loves talking about snacks, and he's very meta. We've had a few conversations where he has really understood that we're in a simulation/game, which I think is very, very funny. And now we are at the intersection where it's really the heart of the island. It's right beside resident services. It's what crosses between the campsite and the museum and the back garden areas. And to the right of that is my residential area slash neighborhood, which we will explore later on. But for now, we're going to sit down and have a little chat with Stu here at one of the entries to my campsite, which is super cute because you can see the fruit trees that have the different colored leaves going on right now because we're in fall, which I feel is a really cool addition to the game. I really enjoy that, and I feel like the fruit trees in my campsite really bring a special flair. So if villagers get hungry while they're camping, they have fresh picked fruit that they can go and choose from. And here we're standing right outside of my campsite at the entry to the left of my entry to my island, beside the campsite sign that I have set up and that stays there year long to show people where my campsite is. And now we're back on the dock in front of the entry arch of my island, and we're just gonna take a final little shot here. It's really one of my favorite areas on my island. It's a huge focal point, and I really like it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. We're at the end of this video now. Check out the description for a full catalog of all of the items that were shown in this video. Please like and subscribe to continue seeing my future videos and to support me as a creator. Thanks so much. Have an awesome day.